I'm Cato Gooding, owner and operator of Gooding Services. I've done work all around the city of Flores Park, but there's a reason why we're based out of Shadow Valley. The city has its police force and Alpha Corps. It even has superheroes that patrol the streets. They're more than capable of dealing with various threats. Shadow Valley is full of hard-working, honest people. It's unfortunate that the city acts like you don't even exist. And that's why we're here. Let's be honest, the city allocates little resources for Shadow Valley. That's why they're so late to respond to issues. Good people deserve good service. For our great citizens, we provide it all. From firefighting to criminal investigations, you can count on Gooding Services.
Gooding Services has a bundle for all budgets. You can be fully protected with emergency response for just $49.99.
What is up, everybody? We are live for yet another episode of Ribbon and Silverback. I believe we're on episode number 32, if I'm not mistaken. Want to give a big shout out to everybody that's been showing all sorts of love for Gooding the Polymath, which you guys just watched that trailer. We are almost at 200,000, only with 3 items being sold, $200,000, as well as closing on 7,000 total books sold. Thank you guys so much. Of course, today though, we are joined by my co-host, the Silverback himself. Man, how you doing?
I'm doing shit. I watched The Acolyte,
which we'll be talking about here in a little bit. I'm pretty sure, man, I've been watching some of the takes on that. It's been
$22.5 million per episode.
Yeah, man. You can really see it.
$22.5 million.
You can really see.
Oh, you can really see it in somebody else's bank account. Yeah, that's where you can see it.
Oh man, this is going to be a good one. Okay. Before we get into that, I want to give a big shout out to the team who's already touched down. Some of them are touching down in Denver for Fan Expo. The Rippaverse will be there the entire weekend. Fan Expo Denver starts tomorrow, 1 to 6. You can meet the Soskas. They will be there chilling out. So you can buy some merchandise as well. They'll sign whatever. Please go link up with them. The following day, which will be Friday, you guys will see myself. Mike Barron's going to be out there. We got Drunk 3PO. We got Star Wars Theory as well, filling out the rest of the schedule. So all forms of social media, you can see the actual schedule there. But yeah, it's going to be a great one. We have a bigger booth, so we'll be able to manage things a little better. We'll have a lot of multiple little points of sales, little places that you can buy products. So we aren't holding up the line. So it's going to be a fun time, man. Real fun time. So yes, starting tomorrow, we'll be there the entire time. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So come show love at Denver Fan Expo. We look forward to meeting you all. All right, obviously the elephant in the room right now is going to be Acolyte. I want to get the Silverback's analysis of Acolyte episode, what episode? 7? 5? 6. Okay. Episode 6. So how was it? Scale of 1. First of all right, that's my question. So scale of 1 to 10 is shit. That's what
scale of 1 to 10, it would have to make it onto a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay. So because it's gotcha.
A scale of 1 to 10 is over there. The Acolyte is over there.
Okay. Easy to know.
Yeah.
Lots of gripes happening. Same. I mean, look, there's been gripes all over the place with some of the lore aspects of it, storytelling as well. But all that considered, let us know what the fuck happened as you suffer through the 20 or so minutes of Acolyte episode number 6.
I mean, where'd you even start? Honestly, where'd you even start? Last week, May was going to hand herself into the Jedi because now that she discovered Osha was alive, she thought that's the only thing that matters. I don't need to go around killing these Jedi. I got to be there for my sister. So she goes to hand herself in. When one of the Jedi try to apprehend her, she fights them. Smilo Ren turns up after killing a bunch of Jedi. Who cares? I don't. We don't know the names. They didn't speak. Then he tries to kill May. Mm-hmm. May runs away. He catches up with May. He cuts her out of her handcuffs, and then he tries to kill her again. She runs away. The other Jedi start fighting him. He kills them all, apart from Master Squid Game, who's mentally retarded now. And then tries to kill May again. May runs away. They get some insects. Osha gets some insects to carry Smilo Ren away. This is yet last week's episode, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then May stuns Master Soul, Master Squid Game, who she wanted to hand herself into. She stuns him. So then she's like, "Hey Osha, you're my sis. Let's be sisses or something." And then Osha says, "I'm going to apprehend you. You know that thing that you wanted to do, hand yourself into the Jedi? I'm going to apprehend you so we can take you in." And May's just like, "Oh, no. I don't want to do none of that. I'm going to push you off a 30-centimeter ledge, and it's going to gash your side, and you're going to be unconscious for approximately 58 hours. By the way, the 58 hours that you're unconscious, where Master Squid Game comes back, finds your unconscious body, takes you to his ship, flies off, hyperdrives to a completely different planet, lands, takes you out, still unconscious, carries you to a cave, puts you down onto a bed, starts cooking away, goes out, leaves you. You wake up. How many hours has passed then? Oh, I don't know. 10, 15, I don't know. A soul's just walking back into the cockpit of his ship. What was he doing for 15 hours? What were you doing, Soul, for 15 hours? What? You know how you rushed onto the ship last week and you were just about to communicate with the Jedi, and that's where it essentially picks up with you today? However, we just saw a scene where people on different fucking planet that had just left you. In actual fact, they left the planet after you left the planet.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, Eric.
Can't. I'm afraid I can't. I'm not sure how time works in the Leslie Hetland world. Nobody knows.
Contacts the Jedi. He contacts the Jedi to say, "Holy fucking Jesus titty fuck, everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead." Right? But for some contrived reason, because nothing was wrong with the ship, and the ship's literally just come from the Jedi Temple in Coruscant to here, the ship don't work no more. Nothing works. Communications are all frazzled. Everybody dead, my team, everybody dead. I'm the only survivor. May, who wanted to hand herself into the Jedi last week, and then for some reason didn't. Every time they tried to apprehend him was like, decided not to. She comes creeping up to Master Soul with a dagger, and she's going to fucking stab him in his back and kill him. The person that she wants to hand herself into, by the way. So that, because don't worry about it. Eric, don't think about it. No, none of the writers did. And then he turns around and goes, "Osha, I need to reset the transmitter. Take the con." So she's like, "Okay, I won't kill you now then. I'll put this in my pocket." He goes downstairs. He's like, "I'm going to reset the transmitter. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to have a little cry because everybody's dead. And then 30 seconds later, I'm going to turn it back on again because he's in IT. He's in IT. That's what he is. You know, he said, "How do I fix the transmitter?" And the Jedi Temple said, "Have you
it off
tried
and-
turning it off
Yeah,
and turning
turn
it
it back
back on
on."
again?" Yeah. And he went, "Fuck me." So he's reset the router. So he goes back upstairs after resetting the router, and he starts trying to communicate again, and then just all the power just goes out in the ship. Why? Because the writers wrote it. That's why.
Because of reasons.
What was wrong with the ship? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. So he says, "Hey, fake OSHA, go check it out. Find out what's going on." So fake OSHA, who wanted to hand herself into the Jedi, who's now trying to kill the Jedi again, even though her master's trying to kill her. Don't think about it. She goes downstairs, right? So she's now got the run of the ship. She's now got the run of the ship, Eric, right? So the ship's dead. No power. How they alive? Don't know. She's got the run of the ship. This is a person who wants to kill the Jedi. What do you think she does now that she's got access to all the engines and everything like that? And what do you reckon she does?
I'm assuming something that makes sense.
Okay, go, throw an idea at me. Just one. Just throw an idea at me.
Like a tongue-in-cheek idea or a legitimate idea?
No,
like a legitimate idea.
You are wanting to kill the person on the ship.
Obviously, yeah.
The power's dead. He's told you to go to the engine room. And see what's going on. Fix it. Right. So you've got it all at your mercy. What you know?
But if I have an escape plan?
Okay, well, you tell me.
If I have an escape plan, I'm sabotaging.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Do you know what she does?
What does she do?
She fixes the ship.
Oh, okay.
She fixes it. She does what he says, and she fixes the ship.
Okay.
So anyway, there's a little rodent fucker in the ship, and he smells that she's different. He smells that she's not OSHA. She's actually May. So he's like, ooh. So he runs away in the ship, right? And then OSHA comes back upstairs. She's like, I fixed everything. And he says, all right, call the Jedi. Call the Jedi. So she goes to the con to call the Jedi. You know, the people that she now no longer wants to hand herself into. And then Master Soul stuns her because the rodent fucker's behind him. I don't even know if the rodent fucker went, that's not OSHA, that's May. You're a fucking retard to the Jedi Master, or he waited, or he realized it doesn't explain shit. Don't explain shit. Anyway, so we go over to the other planet, which took fucking hours to get to, but apparently Master Soul went into the fucking jerked off for 15 hours in his room or something, and OSHA wakes up, and she's on her own. She sees there's some food there, you know? She's in a nice little cave. There's health and safety railings around, so people don't fall off the edge, because that's very important when you're a Sith. And she walks down to the beach. It's empty. And then she turns around, and fucking Master Smiler Ren's there. He just appeared out of thin air. He wasn't there when she just walked. But then he just appeared in midair and was walking over there. So she goes, right, I'm going to follow this fucker. I'm going to follow him. She follows him. He's off to a little lagoon. He gets butt naked. Takes all his clothes off. Gets butt naked. This is a show for kids. Butt naked, yeah. Gets in there. Starts swimming about. Back to her, you know, and you can see he's smiling. You know, he can sense that she's there because he's got, you know, Jedi powers and shit. And she takes his lightsaber, and he's like, ooh, yeah, you fucking take that lightsaber, you dirty whore. And then he turns around. He's like, are you going to use that against me? And he's like, but you don't. You're thinking right now, can I attack a naked man in the lagoon? Right? So he gets out, butt naked. Obviously, you don't say it's cock and balls, but it's cock and balls implied, right? She literally does this. As a right gander, it's bits and pieces, right? And then do you know what she says? I'm dark side now. Yeah. I'm like bad now or something or other. I don't know. I ain't got a fucking clue what's going on. I saw Smiler Ren's dick, and now I'm a believer. Yeah. And Smiler Ren's just like, fucking hell, this girl's retarded. He's just like, hey, so why did you leave the Jedi Order? It was my decision. Was it? Was it though? Yeah, it was actually my decision. Oh, what, did they push you out? No, it's actually my decision. I decided to leave. Oh, are you sure? Can I put your helmet on? Pretend I'm bad now. Sure. I should put Smiler Ren's helmet on at the end. It's like 8 sizes too big. It looks like a fucking bobblehead. A retarded bobblehead. And she's like, oh, I guess I'm bad. And then Master Squid Game, who was trying to contact the Jedi Council, right? Now that the ship is completely fixed, all of that plot contrivance is gone. Yeah? Communications work. The ship works. All that. For some reason, why didn't... Don't ask. Don't ask. He's got everything he wants. He's got the con. He's got the he just needs to transfer. He just needs to call them up now and go, we're fucked. Everybody's dead. There's a Sith running around. We need fucking help, right? So, do you know what he does?
What's that?
He turns the con. He turns it off. Turns it off. And then he says, May, you and me. He's now got her strapped down. Bit pervy, but every hole's a goal. He's got a strap down. He says, May, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to tell you everything. And do you know what we're going to do? We're going to chase after Smilo Ren. That's what we need to do. How does he know where he fucking is? He was jerking off in his room for 15 hours. That let Smilo Ren go to another planet, comes back, get his clothes off, fucking wibbly wobbly. You know, all of that. How does he know where he is? Ain't got a fucking clue. So why are you gonna fight? Where are you gonna find him? Don't know. Are you gonna read May's mind? Does she know where he is? Have you implied that? Have you tried to set that up? No, not at all. So anyway, goes to the Jedi temple in Coruscant, and they said, hey, you know that message that Master Saul was trying to send us that didn't get through because it was all garbled? And they went, yeah. And he went, oh well, actually, we heard it all. We heard it all. And he said, all the Jedi are dead, and he's fucked. So we need to go help him. So Leslie Headland's wife says, okay, let's go help him. By the way, it's really stunning and brave that we've got a Jedi Padawan that's clearly got AIDS. And so they get into a ship, and they just go bang, and they're at the planet in seconds. Bang. And when they go bang and come in, Saul's gone bang and gone out. He goes boosh out, and they go boosh in. So oh my God, they missed each other by seconds.
Just happened to miss
crazy,
each other.
crazy. Got there in seconds. Coruscant to this planet. How long did it take? Fucking 5 seconds. Fuck this. Anyway, never mind. You know, space travel. Boom, just like that. Just like that. So they land on the planet, right? And they went, thank God Master Saul last week left all the dead bodies on the ground and didn't do anything, you know, because he's a fucking cunt. Thank God he left them all there. Padawan of the year 2024. She's like, they're all there. The other guy, snap neck. They're all there, dead. So her Padawan says, Padawan hepatitis B says, what happened here? Looking at a bunch of dead people. Looking at a bunch of dead people, dead Jedi on the floor.
Something happened.
And Leslie Headler's wife says, what do you think happened? And he says, they were killed by one person. Okay, glad you worked that. Okay. Incredibly powerful, but unfocused. Okay. I don't know where the fuck you're getting this from, but okay. And they're all dead. And she says, yeah. And then he goes, hey, do you think it was Master Saul that killed them all? And she says, that's quite an accusation. And then she could have said, a millisecond of thought, it can't be. Where's the motivation? Why would he do this? He was the one that has been investigating these 2 girls who we know murdering the other Jedi. So why would he just kill a bunch of fucking Jedi? Think about it, you stupid AIDS victim. Sorry, I'm stigmatizing AIDS here, and I do beg your pardon. Tim Sheridan, forgive, but Elton John, you and me,
Elton John.
like that. We're like that.
You asshole.
Yeah. So suddenly, all the Master fucking Leslie Headland's wife's just like, do you know what? Yeah, I think he probably did it. So now they're all just like, yeah, we think Master Soul murdered all these Jedi for no fucking reason. Even though we know there's a fucking actual assassin killing Jedi.
Could be them.
It must be him. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Can any of this just a little bit, just a soups on make sense? Just a fucking soups on of it makes sense. And there's 2 episodes left. And Master Soul even told me, he says next week. He actually said this as well. It's crazy. He said on next week's episode, it's going to be another flashback. So we're going to show you exactly what did happen and not the flashback from episode 3, where we just made probably a bunch of shit up for reasons. This cost $22.5 million per episode, he says. He's saying this to me. It's really weird. It sounds really weird, but.
Shout out Nooner, by the way. They just rated us as they usually do. Big shout out to Gary. Shout out to everybody.
So what's going to happen is Master Squid Game is probably going to get killed by the Jedi because
they think he fucking because of reasons killed.
Because reasons. Or Smilo Ren will kill Master Squid Game, or one of the girls will kill, or all of them will kill him. And then the Jedi will arrive and go, do you know what? He probably stuck 58 fucking lightsabers in his head because of the bad things that he did. Case closed. Because they're all fucking retarded. So the show, I'm going to give it a go fuck yourself out of 10. Yeah? That's my review.
That's the ass official review of episode 6 of the Acolyte, where things don't make sense, but it's okay.
Nothing makes sense. Nothing.
At least there's lesbians.
Oh, because now the lesbian wants cock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
She saw the cock. She saw the cock, and she's like, "Now I'm a fucking believer."
That's true.
And I saw his cock. Do. Now I'm a believer.
That's true.
So pansexual, lesbian, former bisexuals now into dick. Every lesbian's worst nightmare. The D turned her.
Fuck.
This is
That's rough. But at least answer me this. Now that we're in episode 6, do you see where the $22.5 million have gone?
Yeah, probably into Leslie Headland's bank account.
So it had shown it. So the $20+ million has not shown itself on screen yet, is what you're telling me.
No, sir.
But by now, I mean, that's 6 episodes in, so they're well over $100 million.
There was the internal cave.
Mm-hmm.
There was an internal ship, and then there was a bit of fucking Jedi Temple Coruscant with some establishing outside shots. 22.5 million. Go fuck yourself. This is a money laundering scheme. This is a fucking money laundering scheme. Shit on my face, dude. You told me this episode cost $1 million. I'll be like, $1 million? Not seeing it. Not fucking seeing it. 22.5 million on average. Yeah, fuck off. Who's stealing the money?
That's the golden question. Because I don't know where the hell it's going.
Jeez.
Look, man, there's all sorts of fake jobs in Hollywood. I've discussed it a million times, and I'd imagine that this episode maybe had a caterer for the caterers. That, you know, and everybody got paid. Everybody got a little something off the top, but you're not seeing it in the production. I think everybody agrees, and this is the point I brought up in my show on Monday, I believe, on Fork and a Second, did a little short segment on this, and it's like, I don't care. Look, there may be 1 or 2 people that like Acolyte, okay? 1 or 2. I'll give you that. That said, you would have to agree, probably didn't cost, well, it doesn't look like it's a production. that had 20-something plus $1 million invested in it. Okay. Keep in mind this
episode.
Per episode. But yeah, per episode. 180 million total, which is fucking double of what I believe the Obi-Wan show was. That's more than I think Mando. I think it costs more than all that shit. $180 million. It's a lot of money, guys. It's a whole fucking lot of money, man. A lot, a significant amount. Where it goes, your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps we could spend another hour and a half trying to guess where the hell the money went. Who actually got a hold of it?
Leslie, can you tweet? Can you just tweet out where the money went? That'd be great.
Fair question.
Can you do a breakdown of where the money goes? What the wages are? What the special effects cost? What the scenery, costumes, catering, bean flicking, scissoring, whatever. Whatever. Can you do a breakdown? Because I'm gonna guess that one of those ain't the same as the others. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, I would guess as well that probably not that much. Yeah, if it was broken down, line items, right? There's probably one that would stick out from every other one, and it'd be like $20 million.
Yeah, like costumes, special effects, actors, money laundering, catering.
Probably go something like that.
I
was doing an audit. Like, wait a minute, man.
Yeah, hold up. Wait a minute.
That ain't like the other ones.
Yeah, one of those ain't like the other.
You know, but it's $180 million. It was invested in Acolyte. Obviously, we damn the return, because that's not even worth talking about. The returns aren't worth talking about because it's on Disney Plus, so they're not going to get any. There is no return. Time sink. It's not. I mean, excuse me. Money pit. More accurately, it's a pit of money that is. A couple of matches get thrown in there, and that's basically what happens if it goes on Disney Plus. It is not profitable. To my knowledge, it has not changed. Maybe it has become more, or let's say less unprofitable, but it is still not profitable. So where the hell is the money going? Is the golden question. I'd argue across the board, but I think especially with something like this, because I don't think even the fans of Acolyte can rationalize with it. And again, I'm trying to be fair. Maybe they're fans of Acolyte. There are though. Actually, no. To be fair, I did see a tweet. I saw a tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that was stoked about it. They were like, "Oh, I love that it was slow the first 4 episodes, but I like." As is what I saw. I'm being fair.
The first 4 episodes were shit, but I'm so excited for the 5th because maybe it's not going to be shit. Compliment.
But there are those out there. But even if you are one of those outliers that are like, look, man, it's not the worst thing in the world. Still, you cannot explain how the fuck this costs $180 million.
Every episode costs 2 Godzilla -1s.
When you put it that way. Damn, when you put it that way, that's actually
the series costs 16 Godzilla -1s. And
remember, as far as the runtime is concerned, each episode, right? It's far shorter than Godzilla -1.
You take the previously on this piece of dog shit, and then you take off the 5-minute credits at the end. Each episode racks in at about 26, 27 minutes. Around about there. You know, sitcom length.
Yeah.
And boy, is it fucking hilarious, but...
You
stick a laughter... Dude, I swear to God, I'm going to take some of these scenes, I'm going to put laughter tracks on them. People are going to be like, holy fuck, that works. Yeah! Fuck, it does, doesn't it?
Wow. So,
dude, I'm not mad. I'm jealous. I'm jealous that I didn't apply myself at school, right? That I didn't fucking born that I couldn't suck dick, you know? I'm jealous Because if I could, and if I did, I could be in Hollywood now, fucking laundering money like it's going out of fashion.
Like it's going out of style, baby. Like it's going out of style.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, that is the industry that you want to be in. You're messing around with a lot of money that comes from nowhere, debt oftentimes, and things happen, money gets spent, and then people just move on to the next project like nothing happened. So you get away with the loot because I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I know what Leslie Headland's like, how much as the main showrunner, or the main writer and showrunner, how much she got.
Too much.
Well, I guess whatever it is too much. But seriously, I don't know how much of that she got, but I don't think anybody sees 100.
I don't know, Eric. There's $180 million. How much do you think she fucking got? Because the show didn't get an $880 million
she
fucking dollars.
Significant for sure. She got a significant change, a significant amount of change for sure.
I'm going to pay myself for writing duties. I'm going to pay myself for showrunner duties. I'm going to pay my wife for terrible acting duties. Those three. What do you reckon the fucking turnaround was of those three? Because if it's not 179 million, I don't know where the fuck it is going.
I don't know, bro. It's hard to say, but it is a Hollywood problem because I mean we talked about it last week, or did we? Was it last week? Maybe we talked about even like with Captain America. I'm willing to bet that won't look like a $375 million movie. But to be fair, they had reshoots and all kinds of other shit, which is probably where a lot of the money went. But it probably was over budget.
No, they've remade the film 3 times now.
But even then,
that's not even a joke.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Richard went through significant reshoots. Yes, that's a fact. Went through significant reshoots. Probably doesn't look like even $100 million film when it's all said and done. Maybe it does. Maybe it's CG out the wazoo, CGI, and it looks fucking crazy. And then
it's geography. It's establishing. How the hell is geography costing hundreds of millions of dollars? Holy shit, if I went, right, what's it gonna, I want this planet to look this way. You know, I want it to have forests, I want it to have like mist, you know, shit like that. How much is that gonna cost if we, you know, we CGI all that in? Ooh, okay, well, if you do all that, how much footage do you need? You know, not much. Like, give me 5-10 minutes of it and I can chop it in here and there and willy-nilly. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's going to cost you 35 minutes. Fuck that. I'm going to walk down to my local woods.
Yeah, fuck it. I go to the forest or some shit.
Buy a smoke machine.
Yeah, you can probably buy a fucking acreage in West Texas. Multiple acres in West Texas for $10,000 or something like that and shoot it right there. Make it.
The sets, like the forest set, it looks like a fucking Star Trek soundstage from the 1960s.
Yeah.
Don't even look good. Make it make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they actually flew to fucking
the
Mars
planet?
or some shit.
Did they discover a fucking planet?
That's what
invest 180 million in interstellar travel. Fuck off to a completely different galaxy.
That's what we're missing.
Film it there, we'll do it live.
That's what we're missing. They were actually on a different planet, and that's where the money went.
That's where the money went. My bad. I take it all back. My bad.
Oh shit, man. Oh man. Well, you got 3 more episodes.
2
more episodes. It wasn't Leslie Helen already talking about. Well, let me ask you this because I really don't know. Has the season 2
never gonna happen?
It's not gonna happen. But they also spent $180 million, so anything can happen.
Dude, I will pay them 180 pence, 180 whole pence. Right? That's £1.80. That's about $1. I'll pay them that to make a second series because I'm unlike Disney, I'm making bank off it.
True.
I'm putting my fucking children's through college right now. This shite.
Well, Leslie Hedlund, perhaps you will get I wouldn't put it past him to give him a second season.
Do it.
Because isn't Ahsoka getting one?
I dare you. Dare you.
Isn't Ahsoka getting one?
Yes.
Man, let's get a second season.
But that's getting a second season because that's Dave Filoni's baby, is Ahsoka. She's now female woman alien Jesus. Instead, she is though. She's now the most important character in Star Wars ever, thanks to Filoni. So of course he's going to be pushing her. That's why she's going to be in the fucking Mandalorian and the Green Fucker film. Yeah. Because it's Dave Filoni. That's the only reason. Is it getting a second series because it was good? No. Is it getting a second series because it was well watched? No. Well subscribed to? No. It's getting a second season because the guy that wrote it, that created the character, is running fucking Star Wars. Blessed by Kathleen Kennedy. That's what it is.
What camp were you in? Speaking of Favreau, Filoni. Hell, you throw Favreau in there as well. What camp were you in early on? Because there were some people that were hell bent. Well, they really believed that between both of those fucks, they were going to save this damn franchise.
I thought that the Clone Wars was fine. Until Disney bought Star Wars. Then the 7th season was all over the fucking place. It ended well, but it was like there was so much garbage in it. But I mean, you know, Jeremy Geeks and Gamers and I had the Filoniing.
Yeah.
Where he was in Dave Filoni We Trust, and I was like, fuck that little cowboy fucker. Fuck that gay cowboy, you know? And it's amazing that he could be married to a woman, allegedly, and be gayer than the cowboys in Brokeback Mountain.
Impressive.
So I was just like, no, because this guy was going to, you know, fucking feminist meetings and go, yeah, raise the side. Yeah, I easily beat you, yeah. And it's like, what is this fucking twat?
Yeah.
It's just pandering to fucking the Force's female wankers. I would have gone, hey, let's have a show of hands. How many of you white middle-aged bitches, bored, living off your husband's money, you fucking freeloading? See you next Tuesdays. How many of you here watch Star Wars? Exactly, none of you, so shut up. Shut up. You know, that's what I would have gone. I would have gone with something like that. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Money laundering.
If nothing else, I do think that, because I know even we talked about this on a previously Tuesday night's main event, not this past week, but, you know, obviously Jeremy's conceded that that guy ain't saving shit. Most people have. I think it's the writings on the wall. Like, even if you did like him, I mean, he's not doing it. Doesn't seem like powerful enough to make a change, or he's in on it. I don't know which one of those. I don't particularly care which one of those camps that he's in. The effect is still the same, and that Star Wars is going to go into the ground. It's being driven actively into the ground by those that have some sort of decision-making power. So what can you do other than
laugh?
That's about it.
That's what you can. You can point and laugh, which is the best thing to come out of the Acolyte are the reviews. Because as soon as I've done my review, as soon as I get up and I watch it and I do my review and I edit it and then I get it on, it's like a 5-hour process. As soon as I do that, do I sit on my ass and do nothing? No. As soon as I do that, I'm like, right, who else has done a review? I want to watch it. I know that Disproves will come later. Force of Lights might be up. Jay's might. I'll just be fucking watching everyone's review and laughing my dick off. Because that's what it is. It is just mockery now.
Yeah,
it's just a thing to be.
But it also is one of those things where you also get a unique perspective, because, and that's what I appreciate from the reviews from the people that you just mentioned. Like, these are people that are coming from the perspective of people that have enjoyed Star Wars in the past and have at least know a little something about it, right? So it's a unique perspective. It's different from it just coming from someone that's just like, hey, I'm watching a movie or I'm watching a show and I'm reviewing it. It's another to be like, hey, I'm coming with some sort of knowledge base, and especially something that is as lore like enriched as a Star Wars. It's cool to see those people cover it. So when I see like Jay cover it or talk about Star Wars, it's cool because I know he knows his shit, right? And granted, it is mockery at this point, and it is a whole lot of disappointment, and that's the way to cope with it, right? It's looking at former fans, super fans, and looking at that and saying, "Fuck, dude, what the fuck happened?"
It's trying to take anti-entertainment, because this is what this is now. It's all anti-entertainment. To take anti-entertainment and try and convert it into something that your audience is going to appreciate and laugh.
True.
You know? And so I don't mind losing thousands of brain cells watching this shit so that I can do the mockery review, because I know that the people who are subscribed to me, my audience, even new people coming in,
absolutely,
that need some sort of coping mechanism.
They're like, I can't be the only one that thinks this is shit, or I feel sometimes. No. There's got to be other people. Yeah, that's how we'd argue that's how a lot of our channels blew up.
Yeah,
right. It was though that's certainly how mine blew up with like talking about even the political landscape, but also with Marvel and DC. Right, it was doing all those reviews, and it's a lot of people like, dude, I thought I was going fucking crazy. Mainstream says one thing, I'm seeing another. I know I ain't crazy. Got on YouTube, started searching other folks that were reviewing these topics, and it looks like I'm not alone. Right, so I guess that's the positive thing that's come from it. I've got to link up with awesome people over the last few years, several years, last several years. And I've gotten entertainment from watching people review things like Star Wars. But for me, it's been people that are actually knowledgeable on it, because I know that it has to be a fucking tough watch, because it was a tough watch for me. For me to watch, it's the equivalent of me like watching the original Captain Marvel. That shit hurt, bro. That hurt. Watching that movie hurt. One of my biggest reviews, but that was painful to watch, like legit. And that was mainly because I was coming from the perspective of a guy that knew his shit. And that's what made it especially painful. Like when I saw how they fucked Monica Rambeau, and I'm like, what in the hell am I watching? Whose bright idea was this? The fuck? And then you hear some of the people that are involved, and not just that, right? We know what Taika Waititi and his approach, even with Thor.
Oh.
Holy shit. Because they have got a better, and by better I mean worse, director that seems to not give a flying fuck. And not that he seems, no, he's kind of told me. There's video evidence of Taika Waititi, ruin your lore. He says things like that, but also saying that he knew nothing about this shit. Why is your director not, why is, even if he didn't know anything before, wouldn't it make sense to get a little more knowledgeable?
Well, they're actively encouraged not to. We know that they're actively encouraged.
James Gunn. This is so important, and it was so telling when this happened. I don't even think John Cena knew what he was saying when he said it. But there's an interview, if you guys want to check out, that are watching us live. And shout out to all of y'all, by the way. Thumbs the video if you're hanging out with us. Got like 1,800 of y'all. Shout out. Nonetheless, there's an interview. I can't remember who it was with. John Cena talking about Peacemaker, right? And he was like, was willing to dive in to all of the books, learn about the character. He was told specifically not to do that because they didn't want to give him a perspective, right? Because they wanted to do something totally fucking different. They didn't want to honor the character. They didn't want to honor anything that came before it. They wanted to build their own thing. And they knew that if he knew how the character was supposed to act, it would get in the way. So they told him not to. Like I said, I don't even think he knew what he was saying. When he said it, I was watching that like, what? What's the point? Why adapt the character? Why do a character in this universe if nobody cares? But I think that's what's happened with basically every fucking thing.
Two things can be right at the same time.
True.
You can research the character, and unbelievably still create the thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
But researching the character allows you to be authentic to the character. You don't have to compromise your own vision in the process.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to write a story about some obscure Marvel character I've never heard of, and then go, hey, don't research them, do your own thing, that to me would be retarded. Because I'd be like, well, I need to understand the character
especially one
to
that's
write
obscure.
them.
Especially one that's more obscure. That's true.
It's like,
That's just
if you were given a
logical.
character to write, Rippaverse, take a character. Somebody says, write that character in the Rippaverse, right? You wouldn't expect that person to just go, right, see ya, bye.
Peace out.
You'd be like, make sure that you read up on them. Make sure, we've got law Bibles, we've got Soskas doing all that kind of stuff. We've got profiles on the website, the books, they appear in this book and that book. Go, read. You do something along those lines. You would just go, yeah, just fucking Brian, just make up a story.
Fucking
do it. Yeah, but what's he do? Fucking don't look.
Don't read Alpha. Don't you read that book. Don't read it.
Yeah. So you're not come out. Okay. Solari. I've got Solari as a gay, outwardly gay. And he's just like fucking great.
Yeah.
Fucking that's your story. They're awesome.
Ship
Let's go. Woo! Let's go.
It's bad, but that's what's happened a lot. And it's funny over the last several years, early on, I guess people can make the argument that it was all based on like us speculating, but these guys started to really tell on themselves, especially like the Taika Waititi started to really tell on themselves and what their actual motivations were, how little, that they cared about some of this stuff. And I don't know if it's that they think that the audience is retarded, and maybe that's
definitely partly it.
Yeah, it's like they're
morons. They're morons that will consume
anything, right? They'll consume anything. They don't. So just fuck it. Just put it out. Like maybe that is more or less the approach. And it's like when you get something like a Star Wars, there are certain things that maybe you could argue that lore people care little about that stuff. But Star Wars, as an example, like that's like a core aspect of it, right? Like those minor details aren't so minor. Not at all. Still, it seems like, and the audience is smart enough to know and sniff this shit out, that it seems like the company in Lucasfilm is being ran by a bunch of people that aren't actually into the brands that they now have control over.
Scandalous.
Which is amazing because I don't believe that there's a shortage of Star Wars fans out there that probably have a little bit of writing talent. I don't think there's I don't think that there's a shortage there. Probably could pick a Joe Blow off the fucking street and he'll probably know it and be able to come up with comprehensive.
You could just pick a competent writer because a competent writer would do their research.
Well, yeah, even if they did, even
if they don't know Star Wars.
Well, that's called having like some sort of integrity, right?
Yeah.
About your and professionalism. And that's what it maybe lacks as well. Because professional, I mean, you can say that even about the Riververse. Yes, I get it. We haven't been around for 40 fucking years. But it didn't stop the writers that have come in of characters that I created. It didn't stop them wanting to learn about them before they actually wrote about them, right? Obviously, Alpha Core was a team that I created. I didn't write the Alpha Core book, but I created the team. Chuck Dixon comes in. Absolute professional. Chuck Dixon's questions, who are these characters?
Mm-hmm.
Who are these characters? How can I expect the audience how can this be believable? Not only to the audience, but to myself, obviously, as the creator. How can I make a believable story if I don't know who they are? So he takes the initiative to write to learn, about the characters. And obviously that's like a prerequisite as well as what we do here. But you can tell when someone's rather enthusiastic about learning who these characters are and taking the initiative to get those minor details right. Every person that's been here, every writer that's been here has taken that initiative. And I think that's the biggest difference between some fucking tourist that doesn't really care about it. They just treat it as a gig to someone that, even if they don't know the characters before, they're professional. And professionals care about their job. They have pride or some sort of, they put value in the job in terms of their performance. And so they get the job done, but it requires being knowledgeable. I don't get that feeling. And if they weren't knowledgeable, you know, right? If the side you just read Yaira not too long ago, does Brian feel the same way Brian felt in Alpha Core?
Yeah, there's a consistency amongst all the characters.
Wrote by two different people, but there's a consistency there. You can say the same thing about Ingrid. You can say the same thing about Braxwell. That's what I'm talking about. And audience can pick up on this, because if, let's say, they had Brian talking like some Valley girl,
like Superman does when he's written by an
With
absolute
Tom
fucking
King. I mean,
oh my god! Like, I'm like Superman and stuff.
you see, but the audience, the point that I'm making is, and maybe there's something that a lot of creators can learn from this. Don't assume that your audience is made up of a bunch of fucking retards.
Yeah.
Because they are smart enough to be able to tell if you, as the writer or group of creators, actually know what the fuck that you're doing. Because oftentimes you're taking characters that predate you, bro. We're talking Star Wars a lot. Well, maybe not in some of the characters. Maybe you are bringing in some new characters, but at least it's world, it's universe that predates you, or predates your involvement in it. They're smart enough to know that. They're smart enough to know it. So when you give them shit and you're like, audience is like, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make no fucking sense. This doesn't line up with this. We was talking about this kid money like fucking last week.
Yeah, he's got to crawl into a woman's vagina in the next 2 episodes and wait 40 years before popping back out again.
We were talking about that. Audience picks up on that shit. Like, wait a minute, that does not make sense. That's illogical. Guy headbutts a fucking lightsaber.
You know, in this week's episode, right?
Yeah.
Because the show thinks you are as retarded as the writers, Osha's in the cave and Smiler Rent's left his helmet because he's just like, women can't resist fucking touching everything, can they? And then she goes to the helmet, she starts touching it, and then she looks to the left, and there's a seam, because it's in the cave, of cortosis there. Hey, look, there's that must be the material that made that.
I feel like,
and I'm just like, so why hasn't he mined that and turned it into more fucking armor, considering you can headbutt lightsabers with it? It means every time a lightsaber comes in contact with your armor, breast piece, hip pieces, fucking thigh pieces, their lightsabers just immediately go off.
What are the odds that was a late edition?
I would love to answer that question. But the show for 6 episodes has been so retardedly written, I have no clue what went where or how, because the writing doesn't in any way lead me. The writing feels like, because it's written by a bunch of people that don't know A, how to write, and B, what the fuck they're writing about. So I can't even begin to answer that question, Eric. I can't. I'd love to, sir, but I can't, sir.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I get it. Something that fandoms, man, across the board are suffering. You know, I watch some YouTube cats and, you know, same things going on. I don't think anything's being released right now with Star Trek, but it's, you know, it's the same conversation. Why does it feel that way, ass? That I could swap out whatever brand that we're discussing, and it's the same conversation.
Yes.
You wouldn't know the difference.
No.
If I swap that out and I put in Marvel, we could have the same fun conversation.
100%. 100%. If we didn't say what we were talking about in this stream, you know, and somebody said what they're talking about, people would be like, oh, they're talking about Marvel. Oh, they're talking about Star Wars. Oh, they're talking about Doctor Who. Oh, they're talking about Star Trek. It would just be a list of every fucked in the ass franchise because it applies to every one of them. Every one of them has the same common denominator.
Yeah.
Ideology over character and inclusion and diversity over meritocracy, more importantly.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. So yeah, it when somebody is not up to the task, it shows, and that's why we have terrible content and money laundering schemes. Clearly,
it's something. I don't know.
White and pale is stale. Remember,
that's what they said.
That's what they say.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's happening to every franchise right now, and I mean, look, bro, I don't think it's a rocket science.
Imagine, I'm just going to throw this out there, particularly to somebody that created their own company 2 years ago. Imagine if you were handed on a silver platter this golden opportunity. You know, somebody came up to you and went, "Hey, do you know what? What's that? I know you don't have a great body of work, but you know what? What? I got you a job writing the new Star Wars show." Holy shit! Are you kidding me? No. I want you to write. There's 8 episodes. I want you to write 2 of them. Just from any ass logic perspective, you'd be like, holy shit, what an absolute honor, opportunity. We need to fucking nail this. And then you get communist space lesbians with dudes dressing up as witches as well, because representation, flicking their beans, making force babies, not making any sense whatsoever, throwing characters out that, why do I care about any of the characters? What has any character done in this show or any of these fucking Star Wars shows that makes me go, do you know what? I want to root for that person. I want to root for that guy. I want to root for that girl because they're cool. They're interesting. They want to do something. They're heroic. They're somebody I can believe in. None of them are like that. They all turn up being, I deserve this, you know?
Right.
Or somebody's going to tell me I deserve this. Somebody's going to tell me I'm amazing. Somebody's going to tell me I'm this. I'm not going to show anything at all. None of us are going to show anything. Why do we care about Sol? Because he was in Squid Game. It's not the right answer. Why do we care about Sol, not the actor? Why do we care about Sol? There's no reason to. Exactly. Why do we care about May? There's no reason to. Exactly. Why do we care about... Never mind. I mean, May in herself is just the worst characters ever fucking created. Flip-flopping like all over. Why do we care about Osha then, who's meant to be the, inverted commas, protagonist here? Displayed nothing. Nothing. Nobody is displaying any characteristics of why we give a shit about them other than, well, they're Jedi, or they're part of this, or that's a thing, or there's a reference. That doesn't make compelling storytelling.
Yeah.
Anyone can stick an AT-AT in something, or a fucking lightsaber glow stick in something. Doesn't make it Star Wars, doesn't make it compelling. That involves hard work, characterization, plot, story, development, something which is missing from Hollywood. Left, right. That's why you can transplant Star Wars with Star Trek, with Doctor Who, with Make us care. You're not giving us anything to care about.
Yeah. Simply put, and I think a lot of that has to do, as I pull this up, a lot of that has to do with ideologues running the show.
Fake ideologues, by the way, because it's all about money.
I'm going to show you something here.
Boils down to.
I'm going to for sure eventually set the scene as I pull this up.
Oh, yes.
Before I get pissed
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, let me take my time on
Hey,
this.
dude. Do you know, before you even begin, though, I'd just like to say one thing about this. Just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's exercising his First Amendment rights.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree on that. Yeah.
Okay.
But of course, what we're going to go into is one is not the same as the other.
Exactly. And I think that's what there's a lot of focus on. And I'll read this just real quick. Vince, whoever the fuck, posted March 1933, the Enabling Act becomes law in Germany, giving the chief executive power, enforce his own laws without checks and balances. The passing of the act marked the formal transition from democratic republican to totalitarian dictatorship. 6 months later, it was a one-party state.
By the way, telling on yourself there, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. And this was retweeted.
Mm-hmm. Democratic Republic.
Yeah, those are contradictory.
Do you know where this comes from? But always comes from the left. Always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk, or a fake ass version of him,
Hulk. Yeah.
Who owns Marvel? Just want to bring this up.
Let me just think. Rack my memory. Oh, it's Disney.
Oh, okay. All right. So Mark Ruffalo, who works for a company owned by Disney, and he says, just for the record, history is repeating itself. Okay. So let's backtrack just a little bit, if you don't mind. Let's take a trip down memory lane real quick. Not too long ago, there was a lady that was on a show called The Mandalorian.
Never heard of it, but okay.
And it was owned by, or let's say that the show brand is owned by Lucasfilm. Who owns Lucasfilm? I'm
gonna think again. I know this. It's just so happens to be Disney.
Oh, okay. So it would be fair to say that Mark Ruffalo works under the same company that also owns Lucasfilm.
Yes, that's fair.
Okay. Now, obviously, this is a tweet that references a point in time. I mean, it obviously references, you can see the symbolism is right there in the tweet. A point in time that this lady, I think her name's Gina or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I know her. Yeah.
She was a character that she played in a show owned by Disney. And she got in trouble because in a story she shared where it basically showed and referenced the same era.
Oh. Why don't you just quote Mark Ruffalo? Where she showed history repeating itself.
Well, that was quite literally what she was showing.
Yeah.
And she was highlighting and sharing this story that was basically a meme, if you will. And all it said was, hey, government turns people against one another.
Correct.
And that's how they were able to accomplish what they were able to accomplish. So after that story was shared, Disney attempted to take her through a struggle session, wanting her to speak in front of a bunch of activists.
40
activists.
40 at the same time.
Quite literally a struggle session was what they wanted of her. She obviously declined. And then they came out and
Eric.
Yeah. Okay.
She declined to do that, but said she'd be more than happy to meet them face to face.
Yes.
And for a meal and talk.
Yes, that is true. Did offer an alternative.
Yes.
As that's important information.
Mm-hmm.
That said, they felt like her response wasn't sufficient enough. And unlike anybody else, they came out, public statement, damning her, saying that she's no longer involved. And what they pointed to was her comparing eras.
Mm-hmm.
But that era happens to be what I'm showing you right here. It's the same, quite literally the same time period. Now, of course, Mark Ruffalo, what you're going to go into in the first, I'm going to get his thoughts on this. By the way, he's not the only one. In fact, during the same time, actually a little bit before, there was another co-star, actually the star
Pedro
of the
Pascal.
same damn show.
Yes, sir.
Who did the same thing. Actually, it's worse because he likened half the fucking voting population in America to this symbol right here.
Amongst others.
Yeah.
That was one of them, you know.
Yes. It's pretty foul, pretty messed up. To my knowledge, he has not lost his job. And I'll ask you.
No.
I'll ask you, as now that this has been posted, this was posted a couple of days ago. Do you think Mark Ruffalo is going to lose his gigs?
I'm not a betting man anymore. But I will put everything I own on no. And I will feel very confident I would win that bet.
I doubt, you won't get felted for sure. Not with that.
No.
I think it's a safe bet.
He's safe. There's just so much irony around this that the guy from the left, and I'm not saying what my politics are, left, right, doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. This is the guy who is on the left saying that when the left got power in Germany, they turned it into a totalitarian state, which then went to World War. The guy from the left. But that's what the right's gonna do. Even though history shows time and time again, the people who claim to be from the democratic republics. Hey, there's another democratic republic. Do you know what that was? That was on Coruscant in Star Wars. You go the democratic Russia, China, Germany, Austria. Pick
Cambodia.
one. Oh yeah, you go on and on. Yeah. All the same thing. Democratic republics.
North Korea.
Yeah. And yet it's always projection, absolute projection, left, right, and center. Who's gonna have repercussions, or who has, because there's no speculation here. Who has had repercussions? Gina did.
Yep.
Did Pedro? No. I don't think either of them should have. I think Pedro has got every right to exercise his First Amendment rights. So has Gina Carano. So is Mark Ruffalo. That's why I wanted to say this at the beginning. I don't think if all things were equal, I would be saying I don't think Mark Ruffalo should be fired for this or penalized for this whatsoever. It's his point of view. He can have it. But one is not the same as the others. When two of them have called half the American public, I'm British, of course, half the American public literal Nazis.
That's what they did. Yes.
And then they fire somebody who says, do you know what? Government turns neighbor upon neighbor. And by neighbor upon neighbor, Gina Carano was referencing that everything's become so politicized that where you vote has been weaponized to such a incredible degree. And then they proved her correct by firing her.
Yeah.
Proving her fucking point.
Yes.
So you tell me, the party that you claim to support, the party that, by the way, was the same fucking side as the party that got in 1930s Germany and did what they did, the party and the politics which resulted in the firing of Gina Carano, but the safety of you and the safety of Pedro Pascal, you want to fucking project that that's the other side. The other side's going to do it. Mark Ruffalo is not a very intelligent man from all the fucking tweets that I've seen. Not a very intelligent man. Very basic bitch kind of stuff. I don't know much about politics myself. I'm not even going to profess to. I find it incredibly boring. But when you grandstand like this, when you come out and just call it, oh, history is repeating itself. Why? Why is history repeating itself? Let's just look at some of the things. Is it repeating itself because, and again, I'm not displaying any politics here. I'm just trying to tell what was seen. That an old man clearly suffering from dementia went on TV and showed everyone that he was an exceedingly old man that was suffering from dementia.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean I'm like, fuck that party. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you vote left, right. That's your prerogative to do. Do what you want to do. But on TV, a man came on and showed the deterioration of his mental capacity. Now, if he was a nice man, which he's not, I'd give a bit more of a shit and have a bit of sympathy. But he's a hideous piece of shit, like his son and everyone else. So don't worry about that. That's what happened. So now, because the American public saw that, because that his own party is conspiring now to get him out before the fucking election, so they can try and play somebody that they think might be votable. That's now 1930s Germany? I don't know fuck all about politics, but I know that that's fucking retarded.
Yeah. No, it doesn't make any fucking sense. None of it's logical. I get a kick out of the story because we don't even have to, like, the parallels are so obvious. I don't have to like say that, well, they were kind of saying this. No, we have on two occasions, probably there's more out there, but we have on two very obvious occasions. You have actors that are in prominent positions that work for the same company that Gina Carano worked for. Okay. And they got to compare an era. The whole no. Remember, this isn't me making this up. The no was apparently that we can't compare eras. Not that era. We have to stay away from it. And trying to bring that up is somehow offensive to Jewish people. That was the whole argument that they made. And here we have, goddammit, Mark Ruffalo doing it as well. And doing it blatantly.
Safely.
Yeah.
That's why he can do it, because he knows he's safe.
Yeah, he knows that rule doesn't apply to me.
Of course.
They were looking for a reason to get rid of Gina, and that was just a means to an end. It's not anything that they actually believe.
No, it was the pronouns. That's what got her. That's what they wanted her out for. The beat, bop, boop. She just wouldn't bow down.
And she wouldn't bow down. She wouldn't get in step, and that was a problem. So they got her out of there. They used, however, an excuse. And I remember at the time talking about this. I was like, wait a minute. Pedro Pascal quite literally likened half of the voting population to Nazis, and he did it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the same. I don't have to go far. He's under the same company. He's in the same damn show.
Yes.
He's in the same show. And now you have an example of another guy who plays a prominent character, albeit under Disney and not necessarily just Lucasfilm, but still under Disney nonetheless.
If you believe
nothing's gonna happen to this fucking guy, bro.
No, because if he believes that, I don't. I think all of this is performative theater. I think the whole thing is performative theater. They'd flip on a dime if people came in and ran the show that were all more conservative minding. Suddenly all the actors would be the same. They'd all have the same fucking politics then, at least outwardly. Just like what's going on, at least outwardly, people are displaying all this kind of stuff. But if you believe that that's what will happen by the red team getting in to power, then why would you misuse your power now to censor people? If you want true diversity, why is diversity of thought the most scary thing to these people? Because that's what it is. Because a bubble is not diversity of thought. You can have as many skin colors as you want, sexualities, religions, but if you're all of the one political mind, then there is no diversity there.
True.
There is no separate points of view. You're all towing the line.
Yeah.
That's why I find these people so fake, because they think they can sprinkle superficiality with color and race and gender and blah 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 and go, look, we're so diverse. Fucking hell, if you dare speak out, then you're excommunicado. If you have a different opinion, doesn't matter your color, fucking race, sexuality, you're fucking out of there. And now you're an alt-right Nazi, or the black face of white supremacy, or the fucking this, that, and the other, all the other retarded fucking things that they come up with.
Yeah.
Because they don't want the true, most important diversity, the diversity of thought.
That to them is not even a thing. And with what happened to Gina Carano is such an example of it, because the core problem there was that they knew, and she was unapologetically who she was. Now, again, I think you talked about this earlier. That in itself isn't the problem. The problem is that one side gets to do that, the other doesn't, and it's not permissible. So you have these open out in more ways than one. But when it comes to their politics, they have no problems going on every social media site and making sure that their audience knows exactly where they stand. Okay, if that is going to be the standard that you're going to set, and that's what we're running with, okay. The problem with Gina Carano to them, though, was that, well, her politics didn't align with what was acceptable to them. And that's why they had to get her ass up out of there.
At that time, though, we didn't even know Gina's
Well,
politics.
that's the thing, though. Hey, you're correct. At the time, we didn't know that. But the fact that she was even willing to go against the grain
exactly
was enough. So I make this point all the time, which is why, like, I make this point. People that watch me on Blaze, I know I'm repeating myself here because I talk about this all the time. To them, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. The fact that you are antithetical to maybe what they believe in, even if you have your own thoughts, like me, I'm not a fucking conservative. Right? It's pretty. I'm open with that. It's in my fucking bio, right? On Twitter, like what I am.
I keep hearing you're a Trump supporter.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. There's no difference to them. That's why I don't even argue with them.
Exactly.
But that right there is the problem. It's less about where you actually align, because there's more positions outside of like being for this guy and this guy. Far more positions than that are out there. The problem is that with people like her, she just isn't lockstep with them. That's enough. Where she ends up landing, not important. It's all the same shit to them. She could be outright despise Trump. I'm not saying she does. I'm saying she would make a bit of difference. The fact is, she went against the grain. That was enough. Now, there's a list, obviously, of positions that you can have that are perfectly fine. And so as long as you align with them there, you can have whatever fucking positions that you want. Of course you can. Of course the Nazi Germany, that's not off limits to them. Of course not. They do it all the fucking time. They always call their adversaries, liking their adversaries the funny mustache man. They do it all the time. If you had to been a naive son of a gun, if you really thought that was what they were offended at. Like that in itself. Because remember, that was what they said. They were like, well, it's offensive to Jewish people just because she brought up the eras.
Can I ask you a question? Personal question? Feel free not to answer because it is a personal question.
Yeah.
How many Jews have you been responsible for killing?
0.
I didn't. Crazy. Okay.
To my knowledge, Gina Carano hadn't killed any either.
Really?
Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
I mean, I'm gonna have to do some research before I can absolutely. Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
You remember what was it? I can't remember which.
How many world wars have you started?
0.
Oh. No, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Just these are answers I didn't expect. That's all. These are just answers. How many world wars have you tried to start though?
0.
I'll do some research.
Yeah. Go ahead. So, Mark Ruffalo is probably still going to be Hulk. going forward. I don't see.
That's the biggest fucking. That's the worst thing to take from this. That's the biggest travesty.
I know, unfortunately.
Dude, call me whatever you want. White supreme, Yahtzee, fucking misogynist. I don't care. Call me what you want. Just don't be the fucking Hulk anymore. Because you're shit.
Very true. That is, I mean, when you put it that way, that is kind of the most depressing part of this whole deal, because he's not going to lose it, because he should have, if there was to be a job loss, it should have been for a completely different reason, having nothing to do with whatever the hell he just posted, which he wasn't ever going to lose his job because of that anyway. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, moving along just real quick. Yeah, before we get in like super chats, one last thing that I want to discuss, because it was an absolute trip. I'm trying to pull up an article. Let me see. Yeah.
Do you know what Star Wars' biggest problem is, according to Collider? The fans. And I believe them, because they've been busting their ass for 5 years being a Star Wars fan.
Okay. That is true. Fuck, man. Okay. Moving to gaming real quick, because I wanted to talk about this. I figured I was going to talk about it before, but I figured I'd go ahead and discuss it on the show today. I'm going to share this tab. Fucking hell.
I hope that you are not going to have a go at a woman that has situational disability.
Yeah, we have to talk about that as. So let's set the scene here. This is covered by the Park Place. They kind of summarize it. And this is Alana, whatever, Pierce. This is what they say. I'm not actually asking for an easy mode. That isn't the intent. Here's the thing I want to spell out when accessibility is concerned. God, that term.
I know.
There are also multiple kinds of disabilities, especially where gaming is concerned. There are long-term disabilities, and there are situational disabilities, as there are temporary disabilities. It counts as a disability where Elden Ring is concerned if you have a kid. You have a 2-year-old, you're trying to play Elden Ring, you can't pause. And that is situational disability. That you have where the game not having the option for you to be able to pause. For example, is a hindrance.
Yeah.
For your particular disability.
Oh, that's a shame.
A situational disability.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
You may need to pause to stop your kid from putting a fork in the socket.
You are a terrible mother. Terrible.
A power outlet.
Why aren't they childproof, those power outlets already, hey? Did your situational disability prevent that from happening? And what the fuck are you doing giving your kid forks to play with? Anyway, sorry, carry on. I'm digressing.
She goes on talking about the other forms of disabilities, which apparently there are more than what I ever would have imagined.
Do you know what
temporary disabilities, and there's long-term disabilities.
Yeah, being a white woman.
No, actually asked, but she has tendinitis. I didn't make that up. She said that I have tendinitis in both of my wrists.
Okay.
From playing too many video games. Unironically, that is a thing. From tapping too much, that means any rapid button mashing in any game, I'm going to have a lot of trouble with. Unless there's accessibility options.
Life, eh?
Now, apparently they were talking about her coming out as pansexual. I don't really care about that because of course she's of course,
so
this
yeah.
clear woman is
Yeah.
pansexual or whatever the fuck.
Wait a minute, white woman.
What does that mean, by the way? What's pansexual? What does that mean?
Fuck crockery.
There is no particular gender orientation.
I think their line is pansexual means that you have sex with all different types of gender.
Oh, so
because
so
pansexual is the new bisexual, because of course there's only two genders.
So pansexual, you just fuck anything moving.
Yeah, they're in a community where they make shit up left, right, and center. So I don't know. Maybe she's into peanut butter and dogs. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the pansexuality. I don't know. God, fucking insufferable.
Well, all right. Let's talk about this situational disability.
Oh, okay.
First I've heard of that. I'm going to be.
That's because it was just made up there on the spot.
So I'm not okay. So
just like the genders that they like, it's just made up
on the spot.
Just made up there and then. Might be a new one tomorrow.
Fair enough. But situational disabilities.
Yes, sir.
Apparently having children. I mean, damn, I would hate to be her kid. Like when they're older. Well, when they're older, right? Like, damn, you consider me a disability?
Yeah.
Like my existence?
Yes.
A disability? Fuck. Well, I think what this speaks to, I'll give my thoughts. I'll let you give yours here in a bit. But I think what this happens, this is the oppression Olympics, right?
Of course.
They've gone all in. Everybody needs to feel like they are they kind of belong. Okay. And obviously they're always looking at reasons to complain about from software and the things that they've done. They've complained about difficulties. They've complained about so many other things. And because you want to be a part of a group so bad, I think that also speaks to the pansexual thing. Because you want to be part of a group so bad, which again, I think it's kind of ugly. It's like you want to demean yourself. And then especially with Elden Ring, I see people with these crazy fucking disabilities have zero problem going through this game. Motherfuckers ain't got no hands and they somehow figure it out. And you mean to tell me because you have a kid, that is akin to a disability. What gets me about these kind of access media types and mainstream kind of games, AAA games now, and people that commentate on it, is how they believe that they're the only people under these set of circumstances. It's kind of bizarre. It's like, woman, do you think you're the only motherfucker that plays Elden Ring or any video game for that matter that has kids? The fuck? You think that's unique to you? You think that like something that just happened, that gamers just now all of a sudden started having children? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But because you need to feel like you're a part of this group and you need to be oppressed, you need to have something wrong with you. Well, granted, there's people that beating this game with their fucking mouth. They ain't got no arms or legs. And they are somehow beating this video game. But poor you have a 2-year-old. And that's a situational disability. And they're not accommodating enough.
No.
That is a fucking unbelievable. And I know, as again, before you go, we've talked about this before on the show and how kind of the hyperfixation on this accessibility thing and how it's kind of ruined a lot of games because it's going beyond like colorblind settings or being able to change the buttons to accommodate people in different types of controllers because they may have actual disabilities. Now it's the game basically has to play it fuck itself. And if it doesn't, well, somehow it's like it's offensive to you. Because God forbid you can't beat the game. Hell. Well, there's a problem. And I don't know, as maybe you too have situational disabilities. Maybe we all have situational disabilities.
I just read something which gave me a situational disability. By the way, thoughts and prayers. There's nothing there's nothing that upsets me more than to see another privileged white woman talking about how she's being repressed. Intersectionality is cancer. It is worse than stage fucking 4 actual cancer. Because it's not just a rot of the body, it's a rot of society. Intersectionality is one of the biggest problems that we have today. Because, as you said, intersectionality is based around victimhood, and everybody thinks they are a victim. We're making shit up. She's now pansexual. So what? You like to fucking eat minge and suck dick. So what? So what? There's a fucking shit ton of people out there on the planet. You're just bisexual. Get over it. Okay? You know, we're in particularly people who live in that bubble, with everybody making up genders, making up this, I'm a repressed that, I'm a repressed other. It does become the oppression Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
It does become a competition about how somebody whose life is fucking sorted can somehow be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's got an amazing job for a living, playing games, writing about video games, doing videos about video games, how somebody can turn that into a woe is me.
Yeah.
Right? You got a 2-year-old kid. Great stuff. I hope you're very happy. Yeah. If you're looking after it and you're playing video games and your kid needs attention, guess what? Fucking welcome to life. You're playing Elden Ring and it doesn't have a pause button. Oh, why don't you just teleport to one of the bonfires, to one of the areas there? Just stay there and go off and sort your child out. Playing video games when your kid's unsupervised. I mean, if you can see them and if you've got situational awareness, not situational disability, but if you've got situational awareness, okay, not going to criticize that either. Got tendinitis from playing too much video game? That's a you problem, not tendinitis problem. Accessibility. Do you know what? The word discrimination, there's nothing actually wrong with that word at all. There's nothing wrong with being discriminatory.
Anybody, if you believe in private property, you're discriminatory.
Exactly. So discrimination when you're making a video game, I want this video game to do this, that, and the other. That is 100% fine to do. Mm-hmm. If you have a disability and you want to play this and it doesn't quite work out the way you want, okay, that's just life, I'm afraid. That is just life, because we do have to cater for the masses and not the minority. Because as we've seen from creating video games, when you start to, and I want to pick my words slightly carefully here because I'm not trying to shit all over disabled people. When I say, when you cater to the lowest common denominator, that doesn't mean disability. That can just mean somebody who's bone fucking idle, lazy, doesn't want to apply themselves, blah, blah, blah. We see that in video games. When you start to cater to the lowest common denominator, your game is fucking shit.
Always. Happens every time.
As developers will say themselves, people will choose the path of least resistance.
Yep, every time.
So if you don't give them a struggle, if you don't give them a challenge, let's just move away from my struggle. we dealt with that with Mark Ruffalo.
Yes, we did.
If a game doesn't have a challenge, then it gets very boring very quickly. So what? You're playing Elden Ring and your kid dies. Well, guess what? Maybe sometimes you just got to take the fucking L and die and then run back and pick up
your runes. Go get your shit.
Go pick up your runes. But a game for soft games have online for a reason. They have online for cooperation. They have online for messages. They have online for blood splatters, so you can see how people die. Because if you see how people die, that might actually alter how you decide to traverse an area. And more, I think, than all of those put together, the whole point of the game is to be oppressive. An impressive environment, an oppressive claustrophobic situation to put you in as a gamer. Because when you start to pile that pressure onto somebody, they respond differently. if you give people the chance with games like from software games, because tons of games have a pause button. Why don't play one of them? Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't answer
exactly.
that. Don't answer that. But a game from Soft, the whole reason why they don't want to have a pause button is they don't want to take that pressure off.
Yeah.
If you want to take that pressure off, you go step away. Go step away, go to a shrine, relax, get a coffee, get a whatever, walk. But they don't want to take that pressure
It's
off
the experience they specifically are trying to give you. Yes.
Exactly. It is the From Soft experience.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to go complete and utterly ape shit, blah, blah, blah? No, there's no point in doing any of that. Do I think what she said is dumb as fuck? Yeah, I think it's absolutely retarded. It's the me mentality. Well, guess what? Sometimes things aren't necessarily for you.
I don't know why it hurts them to hear that. So
yeah,
much,
exactly. That's just the thing. They don't like that. They don't like the word no. They don't like the word can't. They don't like these sort of words. Just not made. Or if you want to play Elden Ring, maybe do it when your boyfriend, your husband, whoever's there, and he can look after the kid while you play some game and relax.
Yeah,
that's cool, isn't it? Or you got a nanny, or it's a crash. But somebody, as a YouTuber, as somebody that makes videos about pop culture, TV, film, video games, and stream video games, this stream here that we're doing now, I am one of the luckiest fuckers on the planet that I can play video games and be paid for it. That I can make videos and be paid for it.
Yeah.
That I can wake up in the morning, not think, oh God, I got to go into the office and work for the man. But I can wake up in the office and be like, I'm going to make a video about a retarded TV show to make my audience have a laugh and actually be entertained.
Yeah.
So lucky, so fortunate to do this. So incredibly grateful to have a base that will watch us, that will support us, that will super chat, member, all of these things. Watch the ads on videos, unprompted, because you're not allowed to prompt, unprompted, and give yourself ad revenue. That is, we are one of the fucking luckiest people on the planet.
That's true. Very true.
My situational disability is reading retarded shit from her. Because I feel dumber for having listened to it or read it. Regardless if it's secondhand, because I sure as hell wouldn't fucking watch it from the horse's mouth. That isn't a stab, by the way. It's incredible that we have this online lifestyle that we can make a career out of. Because when I started YouTube, I didn't think I'm going to be the next PewDiePie. I'm going to be the next this, that, and the other. I saw YouTube as a way of earning a wage. And if it was the same wage as I was earning previously, but doing something that I loved in the process. So as long as I could pay the bills, put food on my table, I was a happy bunny. That's the way that I saw it. I've been fortunate enough to go above and beyond that now. Some people don't. She has, because she worked for all the companies, didn't she? She worked for all the gaming company, you know, the such a lucky position to be in. Mm-hmm. Such a lucky position. You can make up your own sexuality. You can make it up. I'm pansexual. I have sex with men and women. Apparently that is pansexuality nowadays. Unless, like I said, you go and buy yourself some peanut butter and you have a different lifestyle altogether. Because that's all that. You can make all of these things up. You can come out as, I'm queer. What does that mean? It means treat me differently and special. Yeah. That's what it means. Treat me special. Stop treating me like a normal human being, like all the other plebeians. I don't want to be a regular plebeian. I want to feel important. Because I'm a fucking demographic that is a dime a fucking dozen.
Yeah.
I'm not special. I'm not above anyone else, and I want to feel that my ego demands it. I am this name, this representation. Oppression Olympics is perfect. We're living in a society where it exists. Intersectionality is cancer, nothing but cancer. Look at how fortunate you are for a living. Look at how fortunate you are to do this for a living.
Well, well, at least according to her, she or it is a disability, situational disability.
Yeah,
which that was today years old.
I was today years old. Well, actually, I was yesterday years old when I heard it. But
yeah.
It's again, when you exist in a bubble where you just make up shit for a living, like genders and sexualities and all that kind of shit. Why not disability? Why can't an able-bodied white woman, one of the biggest demographics on the planet, why can't I be by disabled? I am disgusted that I can't be disabled. Let's make up a disability for me. Situational disability. Oh, hey, Eric. I've got a communication tool here. Okay. Now I have a situational disability because I don't have immediate access in my hand to my phone. My communication
games need to accommodate you, man. They need to put the phone back in your hand. The game should be able to do that. Otherwise, it's not accessible enough because of reasons.
Make discrimination great again. Particularly against people like this.
Yeah, people that, for whatever reason, just try to inject themselves into every fucking thing.
It's always, dude, it's their favorite conversation point, them.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my favorite thing in the world, me.
The arrogance, man. Okay, we're going to get into some of these super chats. I appreciate, again, y'all hanging out with us for this lovely episode. We got Sean Gordon with a 10 says, as is just Smilo Rand. Just jealous, excuse me. Smilo Rand did invite him into the pool with him, or didn't, I guess. Invite him in the
facts. Straight facts. Or not so
straight. Yeah, not straight by any means.
No.
Well, as usual, says with a 2, for fuck's sakes, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. We got Steve DeLeon with a 5. What a Black Stan Lee, Black Walt Disney, and he who hates kettle because microwaves are superior.
No, you got that completely cack-handed. He who hates microwaves because kettle's superior.
Stephen DeLeon with a 5 says, "That's favorite Batman comic is when Batman flies over a riot and does nothing." Yes, we did cover that
in depth.
Yes, in depth, and what a fucking comic book that was. Guys, really no Batman over there, DC.
Yeah, best place to know him.
Yeah, true. Garfield's Bizarre Vigil with a 5 says they are trying to pander to the Raylos by showcasing shirtless Asian Ezra Miller.
I don't agree. It's that mentality, at least, anyway. Shipping.
Yeah. Selchuk with a 10 says, "I'm tired of these EBT having $294 in the bank, having DoorDash working 20 body count plus, having top 0.1% OnlyFans, having single mother, having go to therapy, excuse me, females, ruining my favorite franchise." Yeah, they employ a lot of those types.
Can you be more specific?
A little more precise. Black Kane with a 5 says, "Just remember the high altitude makes it hard to breathe, and one drink will feel like 2 or 3." Talking about us being in Denver.
Yeah.
I don't drink, so I'm good. But yeah, it's the Maha. Rook takes Rook with a 5 says, "Not to change the subject, I just want to give a shout out to J. Scott Campbell's Danger Girl, the comic that put me through puberty. Hell, Rippaverse."
I got these the other day. J. Scott Campbell, Thundercats and Black Cat there.
There you go.
Do you like my J. Scott Campbell? Yeah.
There you go. Enoch Maman, abuser of Streamlabs with a 5 says, "Totally unrelated. But I just got back from watching Horizon with my dad. It's excellent. Highly recommend, especially if you're a fan of westerns. Okay. Shout out, by the way. John Thomas with a 10 says, Eric, Jeff Hicks has his Woke Buster comic out on Kickstarter. Ghostbusters parody, satirizing woke, or satirizing woke, excuse me. He also has Stealing Solo comic up for reissue about fans kidnapping Ford to remake Faith. Okay. Well, shout out. With a 10. You heard it here first. As Microwave T with a 10. Adjusting for inflation. How much did it cost to make the original trilogy with groundbreaking effects of its time? I'd have to go through it. I'm not sure. Probably wasn't $180 million an episode or a season. Spawn with a 10 says, hell ripper and ass. It was a pleasure to meet you in Dallas. Shout out. I haven't picked up a comic in ages. Pre-order gooding. Whew. I want it all bundle. Looking forward to more of everything and enjoying the read. Love to hear that, man. Love to have you here. Appreciate you. All the new. We got a lot of newbies getting in on Gooding. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate you. Mr. Toxicity with a 5 says, why do they avoid giving fans a decent extended universe story with characters like Mara Jade, Dash Rendar, money left on the table?
Because the EU's dead. They killed
it. Of course, they don't have, what do you mean? They don't have source material to go off of, says Kathleen Kennedy.
I mean, they said it themselves. The EU's dead. It doesn't exist. So they're bastardizing it, stripping it, mining it like the IP mine. They're just mining it for this, that, and the other. And now Smiler runs Helmet works like my fucking Nito's because it's fucking retarded.
We have Aiken with Australian 2 or 3 says, I can't even muster. Hold on. Oh, wrong one. Excuse me. This is Slick Sith. I was reading the wrong one. With 27 months says this is intentional. They have to rip Western culture. Well, we've talked about
communism 101, but yeah.
Read this from Aiken. Shout out. Mr. Reese with a 2 says Michael Copper getting Iceman treatment. Nah, don't worry about that. Not happening. Taker with a 2 says making light of the Holocaust is the new denial.
It's
you can't even compare. That's what they said. That they got mad at Gina for. Great US Treasure Hunt with a 5 says hell. Reverse rip. Check the box. Plano says we sent. Okay. Toast helmet. I hope you didn't send me one of those. Said it's a lightsaber hairstyling guy. Let's go. Okay. Thank you. We have Trey Gordon with 13 months. According to our sources on X, you, Mr. Black Stanley, are the reason for everything bad.
Yay.
That's what the sources say. Can't wait to get Gooding and Horseman. Shout out Trey Gordon. Shout out. As Microwave T with a 2 says, pansexuals are attracted to kitchenware.
Probably. Fuck knows. It's all made up.
Having nobody, the furry tar with a 5 says, situational disability. Sounds like some gay ass sensitivity class subject. They're letting billion-dollar corporations think for them. It's bad out there, huh? And then we got $100. Top donor of the day from Joke's Disciple said, so puts on best salvage hat. I noticed Sydney uses we a lot in the Leo horoscope bit in the represent. She is a Leo. Also, the horoscopes were not for the readers, but for the characters in the Ripperverse. I will accept Jeremy Cash canonization as a payment for my service. Well, I appreciate the 100. And we'll see what we'll do about Jeremy Cash becoming a official, I don't know, manager in the SSWL. We'll see. Thank you, Joker's Disciple. The Terror Bear with just became a member. Appreciate that. Overnight with a 5 says Disney going to spend $400 million on Black Captain America and Falcon Man. And I'm cheering for them like Osama cheered America, wasting trillions in Iraq and everything. Damn. Joseph the Gamer, there's no way they get a return on that. Joseph the Gamer with a 5 says, it is annoying that people change the definition of a word to use it as a slur against you because you didn't like a show or character.
I take it as badges of honor now.
Should.
If somebody calls me a sexist, racist, homophobe, bigot, Nazi, I take that as a compliment.
Should. You for sure should. Josh Kelsey with a 20. I appreciate that. No message as always, just drops 20 and then he leaves.
Yes, sir.
And then we have Ivan with a 5 says, it really sucks to be born right on time to see the downfall of Western entertainment and being a narcissist. Was born in 2000, aka Gen Z. Yeah, you were born like right. You were born. You didn't get the experience, unfortunately. Be like that was probably peak civilization going into that millennia, if you will. And somehow we've managed to move the opposite way. And that, if nothing else, is impressive. Because what the fuck? Quite impressive. And our fresh, that's it. As what you got going on? No, this weekend we're gonna be out, but what you got
Dallas. Sorry, Denver. I've got tomorrow. I'm not sure. There might be a video. There might be a stream, a video game stream, because I have got a free day to do what I want. And then Friday, no Friday night tights.
No Friday night
baby! I got my Fridays back. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say that with such joy. But I got my Fridays back. So there'll most likely be a video or a stream Friday as well. And Sunday, afternoon tea with ours, and then Sunday fun day as well. Saturday, we'll figure it out Saturday as well.
Okay. Well, for us, we will be in Denver tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, Soskas will be holding it down at the Rippaverse booth. You can come holler at us at Denver Fan Expo. You should come holler at us. I will be there Friday and Saturday as well. We have Mike Barron joining us. Star Wars Theory, Jay, aka Drunk 3PO, will be there with us. So we'll be hanging out. We want to thank all of y'all as well, supporting Gooding. Appreciate that. Closed in on 7,000 total books sold. And we have a couple more announcements that will be coming this upcoming week. Once we get back, we're really throwing a lot of resources, into this upcoming week. So I can't even think beyond fucking Denver right now. But eventually I will. I think next week we're going to have some fun things planned for you guys. But keep pre-ordering Gooding. We thank you guys so much. Late this month, fulfillment will start for that. Those books will be going out pretty quick. Other than that, that's about it. I will be back in time for Canon's sake on Monday. So don't worry about that. We'll see you then. That'll probably be my next stream. But other than that, we'll see you this weekend in Denver, Colorado at Fan Expo Denver. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Ribbon and Silverback, episode 32. We will be back next week on Az's channel. Shooting shit, I'm sure. Maybe do we get a bag set? Have we checked in on Max? She returned to Twitter?
Just before the stream, I had a little look.
Okay.
And there's a couple of retweets.
Okay. Couple of retweets. Anything marked MV?
No.
Because
we know
the assistant.
But we know, the assistant. Yeah. The fucking assistant, my anus.
Maybe next week, perhaps Shim will return and give us something to discuss. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week on Az's channel. Let's get up out of here. Peace out, y'all. Be easy.